Hi, I'm Jeanette with 40 Kennels, and I am here with Carol, and we're working Tippy's puppies through their curriculum and teaching you at the same time. We are here in the whelping box. The whelping box is the area in which the mom delivered their puppies and the puppies have been raised. We're working through the socialization period now. So
Okay.
how old is what's the age defined by that period?
3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks, and they just turned 3 weeks old. So we're going to start, we've been working on the handling,
Right.
which we still do that every day, and the sound exposure. We did a video on that, and we do that every day. And now today we're going to talk about mild exposure.
Okay.
So today they're being introduced to soft toys. It's basically called soft obstacles at this age, and we are letting them explore and mouth on their own terms.
Okay. So it seems like last week we did a more harsh introduction. You know, the sound was so harsh, and now this is like soft, and so that kind of seems backwards to me.
Yeah. So the one is sound exposure. So the minute they start getting their hearing, we want to introduce a loud sound so that they don't have a negative reaction to sound.
Okay.
And remember, we also do the classical music, the
Right.
soft radio, the TV. So we just do the small little intermittent loud sound so that they don't have an issue with it. So the first time their ears open, they're subjected to loud sounds right away.
Okay.
So the soft exposure, though, there's a couple things that are marked by this period. So just because they turn 3 weeks old, this is a mistake that people do, that breeders do when raising puppies. And this is the good ones that might be following a curriculum. You think, oh, they're 3 weeks old, today marks that, let's start working them. But you can't just do that. You can't just follow paper and just do exactly what it says. You know, I taught for 12 years in Clark County too, and you have to evaluate your class. You have to evaluate your litter. And so just because it says this is when we should start something doesn't mean we should. There's a few things I want you to look for before you start introducing soft items. We do
Okay.
start gentle. They have to be able to walk on all four.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
So-
Why would that be? I mean,
so that they can escape the exposure if they want. They can move away from, if they feel it's unpleasant, they can move away. So having free will, not feeling forced into something that they may feel is unpleasant is really, really crucial during this time. Because you may do an activity and for some it may not be pleasant. But imagine if they couldn't walk away from it.
yeah.
Imagine if
yeah.
we couldn't move away from something that was unpleasant. We weren't quite ready for that, and we didn't have free will to move away.
Right.
So that is critical when we start our soft toy exposure. The other things we want to pay attention to is we still work them in the box. Why do you think?
Safe environment. They feel comfortable. It's a limited space. The smell is still
Yes.
familiar.
Yep. We're building confidence. We're not creating fear. We're not putting these puppies into a position to feel fear. We're building confidence, curiosity, happy brain development where they're smelling and mouthing and can easily move through this exposure particularly. Little soft animals, or we call it soft obstacles, so that we start nice and gentle and we'll move them through a more advanced service dog curriculum. Our curriculum gets more difficult, more advanced, more challenging. But to start them now, we want it to be nothing but very pleasant, something they can move away from, something they can interact with, they can mouth, which is very normal, they can lay on them, they can sleep on them.
Yeah, I see
Right?
that. Yeah.
So it's all very gentle and mild. So this is where it all begins, where we start building these puppies up every day, exposing them little by little. Now, why do you think we don't just leave the stuffed animals in here for them all the time?
Well, it would be too dangerous. I mean, there's tags on these things. They, could choke on something comes off.
Okay, what if we could do a safe? What if there was no concern of choking or eating? Why wouldn't we leave a stimulating environment for them all the time?
It would be like leaving a stimulating environment for a baby. They would have no downtime.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
You're quizzing me.
I'm sorry. This is my job. Yes. Just more is not More is not, what's the term? More is not better. Yes, thank you. More is not better. We want to do little mild exposures and pull back. So now the rest of the day they're with their mom. They can self-soothe and start to learn to self-soothe. They'll get their mild sound exposure. They've already had their handling today. So we do little tiny chunks because we don't want them in an environment just like a child where it's constantly stimulating. That changes the brain development of a child. If they sat in front of the TV all the time or were constantly exposed with lights and a screen or whatever, toys are making sounds, that's not the frame of mind we want our puppies kept. We want small exposures, pull back. Small exposure, pull back, so that they can have a very quiet, calm, peaceful environment.
Okay, so this is today.
Yep.
Now tomorrow we're going to do something different.
Yep. So we can
So
do
these, we will not use these again?
No, they will not be exposed to these again.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
just once, little tiny exposures, varied, like I said, so we'll do ropes, we do rubber, we do different textures, still safe. Then we start the ping pong balls. Now these move.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it doesn't seem like a big deal, but you have soft things you can mount and play, and then all of a sudden we're going to do like ping pong balls, where it becomes a more advanced environment where the ground moves, right?
Yeah.
That them stepping actually moves something, so they start to learn that them doing something, there's a reaction to that. So again, building confidence and through exposure. So
I think they're done.
start mild. Yeah, that's easy, right? So easy at this age. Look at them, they're like, woo! No stress, no stress. Do you see that? They just fall asleep right on. This is exactly what we want. Absolutely, no signs of stress. If they were stressful, what would you have seen?
They'd still be moving and trying to get away from them.
Yeah. What would the
Or vocalizing.
Yeah. Or what else would you see? We talked about the noise exposure. If they
Shake.
shake. So if they're shaking, the vocalizing is of panicked nature. They're really upset by it. Then we pull back. And so sometimes then, if that would have been the case today, if we would have seen stress as a whole, not just one, because we can remove one. Sometimes you
Right.
have some that don't develop as quickly, so we can pull one back and hold them and provide comfort. But as a whole, if we saw this litter as a whole was experiencing a lot of stress, what would you do?
Take everything out. and
Take
stop.
everything out, we're done, yeah, we're ready. So you have to gauge it little by little, and then you could try tomorrow with the stuffed animals again. That's when you would repeat.
Okay.
So if the first time we tried, we're like, oh, we missed the mark on that, our timing was a little off. 24 hours in the scheme of puppy, we only have 8 weeks before they go home. So 24 hours is actually a very long time in the life of a puppy and their development, so we would try again tomorrow.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Any questions?
Please don't ask me anymore. I'm on the spot.
Sounds good. I heard you that with 40 carols. 40 kennels, this is Carol.
Otherwise known as Kennel.
As Carol, I don't know. Our newest member of our pack who we are training and using Tippy's puppies as our highlight. We're not only changing breeding from badass, but we are providing dogs that truly heal hearts and change lives.